Hello, football enthusiasts. Welcome to Blaqsport podcast. I am your host, like always, Insonet Uche, and I'm still on the wheel to take you through what is happening in the world of sports. But today we're going to check out what is happening in the streets of Old Trafford. With me here, I have a sensational streamer who is a Manchester United lover, a diehard fan, and is so enthusiastic like myself. He's no one else but Ivorian Spice. Welcome to Blaqsport.
Big up, Oche, man. Thank you for having me, man. I'm actually extremely happy. I'm looking forward to what we have to discuss regarding Manchester United because times has changed now. New manager in the helms.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we can be excited now.
Definitely.
If you invited me 2-3 weeks ago, I will probably be sad and not be looking forward to it.
I know the feeling. So, before we dive into anything that we're about to discuss today, there's just one question normally ask anyone who comes to Blaqsport podcast, and that is, when did you fall in love with football?
Whoa. I would say I fell in love at the age of 6,
okay,
between 5 and 6 years old when I was in the UK.
Right.
When I first watched Manchester United play when Erik Ten Haag was there. And then,
wow.
And at that time, I remember I couldn't even pronounce Manchester United. I spoke Manchester United. That's when I was young. People used to correct me. And then when I saw the team do what they did in 1999 final in the Champions League final, that's when I decided, now this is my team.
Yeah,
I love football at a young age. I love playing, especially when I was young. When I was young age, primary school, played for the primary school team as well. And football was just everything. I watched football all the time. I used to be one of those guys, one of those kids that will go to their uncle's house, auntie's house, whoever has the sports channel. I will be there on the weekend to watch my team play. That's the type of sacrifices I had to do when I was young, just to watch games, because let's be honest, not everyone is wealthy to have these cable channels, sports channels.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so true.
And the most we can do is probably watch match a day. But at one point, I had to just do what you had to do just to watch the game.
Yeah,
that's just the love of it.
Yeah. So you said something about age of 5, you fell in love with football and Manchester United. So I would say, was it Manchester United that made you to fall in love with football, or they were just in sync together? I would say in sync. I started off just liking football in general because when you're a young child, you have the ball there. You watch football as well with your father, and my dad was a big influence in me loving sports. He showed me the game. We watched international football together as well when we was young, and of course he's a Liverpool fan, and the reason why is because of course he was in his prime when Liverpool was in their glory days before they won the Premier League. So he's from that history of Liverpool fans with the John Barnes and etc. So watching him, and then eventually as I started playing the game, and then watching Manchester United, Erik Ten Haag himself, because he's only the reason why I support Manchester United. Big up Erik Ten Haag because you are the guy. You did it for me. You influenced me because he was just spectacular. He was Mr. Manchester United at that moment. Yeah.
And then, like I said earlier on, it's the Champions League that sealed it. When you see this team winning the Champions in the style that they did, in the manner that they did, the way we suffered, and then the 90th minute was just pure heaven. And then from there, I was sold. I was like, this is my team.
This is your team.
Manchester United is my team.
So I'll tell you, I know your father might be looking at that. Your father might be saying, this is the rebel in the house. How come you're not supporting Liverpool? I'm like, come on. How did they flip on them? Why would you flip on them?
No, I think my dad, I don't think my dad cared what team we supported as long as we
that's the thing.
He allowed us to follow our own paths. He wasn't a father that said, this household is a Liverpool household, you must support this team. He allowed us as men to find our own paths and our own ways. And I happened to fall in love with Manchester United. He was a Liverpool fan. My brother's a Chelsea fan.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. Tell me someone else. Maybe Man City. Do you have Man City in your house, though?
We don't know what that is. I've never seen a Manchester United fan. I mean, Man City fan since I've been alive. I've come across 3 Manchester City fans. This? They're rare. They're rare.
I myself only have one. I have only one Manchester City fan. I have actually none. Just one. And it goes on and on like that. I call them the new generation fan. So it's actually expected though.
Exactly.
So before I dive into a whole lot of things, when did you start off Red United TV?
2019 in Greece on holiday with my mother's 50th holiday. When I watched Manchester United versus Liverpool, and I think we was managed. It's either by Jose Mourinho or Oli, which any one of them. I believe it's probably Jose.
Should we just say
particular time in 2019, and I was on holiday in October enjoying it. And you imagine after watching that game, I think we was 1-0 up, and then Liverpool equalized, and that's when I said to myself, I've had enough of this. I need to start voicing my opinion. And on holiday, Red United TV was formed with just me recording with an iPad and using iMovies app to just edit and then upload it on YouTube from there. And then I started learning the tools, started learning video editing softwares, and then from there, it's just been it. It's just been me and that camera, and it's always been natural. It's always been natural. I never struggled with just being in front of the camera and talking about the team, because there was so much I wanted to say about Manchester United and just get my voice across all social media platforms. On top of that, with humor, because it is what it is. You gotta have something unique about you as a content creator, as a streamer, to draw some attention. But it's been going strong, and we've been getting better.
All right. So I can see you talked about uploading starting off with YouTube, then you started going up. Then when do you think about adding maybe streaming? When do you start streaming?
At first it was uploading videos. I started doing watch-alongs. It's been 3 years. I think 3 years in doing watch-alongs, and then especially when the COVID times, when it was hard to collaborate with my friends and my colleagues to do videos together at the same time, because we had a podcast that was starting to catch up. 3 of us recording in a room, and then me going home, editing it, and then uploading it. But then eventually, when COVID hit, when everyone wasn't allowed to see each other, and then I discovered StreamYard. And I saw other YouTubers using the same platforms.
Exactly.
And then that's when we started streaming live, And I always had friends, why don't you go live? Why don't you go live? And I was always afraid of, I don't know if anyone's going to be watching.
Exactly, I get that,
Doing a live show, and then you have zero viewers or 1 viewer. It's not the best to try to get the interaction. But I just did it, Slowly, surely, the live feed started growing. As well. So anyways, I'll tell anyone, if you want to do it, just do it. Close your eyes. Forget who's watching. Don't even worry about the views. Just do the video.
All right. Okay. So before we dive into what we have for today, we'll be discussing about Manchester United new manager Ruben Amorim, and also what are we to expect in this coming years, I would say, or are we going to go back to where we came from? Time will tell. So we're going to dive into a whole lot of discussions today. It's going to be really interesting. So let's go into what we have first today. Erik Ten Haag. What would you say about Erik Ten Hag's tenure throughout Manchester United, having 2 trophies in 2 seasons, giving trophy every single year? And believe you me, with his way he's going, I think he's going for another trophy again this season before he left. So what do you think about his tenure so far?
It's a bit of a mixed feeling, because I would say Ten Hag was a manager that I was rooting for, especially when Manchester United were in pursuit of him. I was like, yes, this is the guy, because the identity of Ajax was something that we as Manchester United fans wanted so badly. A style, possession-based football, high intense press, attacking football as well. And we thought he would be the answer. He was the most up-and-coming manager that was going somewhere, and I was rooting, because at the same time, when we was linked to Pochettino, I was like, you know what, we've been linked to Pochettino several times, let's move on, let's get someone that we've never met before, never been linked to. Let's get Erik Ten Haag. Top clubs are looking at him, and at that time Bayern Munich was interested, and RB Leipzig was interested. But when he came in, we was all excited, like a kid with a shiny new toy. You're excited, you want to play with that toy. and the things he was saying about an era will come to an end excited all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
It got us really excited, and the training sessions that we first saw of him with him pointing at players with position to say this is where you got to be. It was exciting. It was like, this is what we need. A manager who's strict, who's got a strong disciplinarian.
Yeah,
he's got that kind of style. And then because at that time we was like, these Manchester United players need someone to come with a whip and sort them out. The first season, I would say, Uche, was good because we overachieved. Like, you saw the signings, the transfers, and a lot of Manchester United fans, including myself, were saying, with the signing that we made, I don't think we will even reach top 4.
Yeah.
We won't win anything. We was all in doubt because I don't think we had the best transfer at that particular time, even though Anthony came in, Casemiro came in, Martinez came in. We still needed a lot. And the players that was meant to have been sold didn't get sold, and they still stayed. So we was all in doubt. But even in the first 2-3 games where we lost the first game, the second game, and then eventually we won Liverpool game, the football I would say at that moment there was improving, considering the fact that we just came from the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era of football, and also Ralf Rangnick. We saw something. We kind of saw something. One particular point, we probably said to each other, "Oh, we're playing good football."
Definitely.
Football.
Yeah,
we did at the first 6-7 months of Erik Ten Hag's reign, and of course, the second half, where it's after the Carabao Cup, is where the performance started dropping off,
dropping down,
and even as well, Rashford stopped scoring. His goals dried up by the time we got to May. We lost the FA Cup final, but we eventually finished third, and we won the trophy. And that time we'll say we overachieved, which we did. And then you're looking forward to the second season where he wanted to play this high intensity and be the best in transitional football. But at the same time, we had a pretty bad pre-season. Going into that season now is where everything just got confusing.
Yeah.
The defeats that we was losing, we were just losing games. We was not doing well in Europe. Bear in mind that we qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Yeah.
And then the games that we saw, the Bayern Munich, FC Copenhagen, Galatasaray, it was just a nightmare. We was thinking, what is this? I know this manager can turn this thing around. He done it last season, and that team was even worse than what it was now. Like, the team is better. Like, we've just brought in some more additions. How are we struggling like this? Yeah. And at that moment there, I said to myself, I think around last year September, I said to my friend while we was in a barbecue, and I was like watching the game against Nottingham Forest when we was about 2-0 down, and we came back and won 3-2. Yeah. I was like, do you know what? I'll be very honest with you. If we get to the end of September and we don't improve the position that we're in, I don't think he's the right guy. I think we should get rid of him. I became Erik Ten Haag, and I was pro Erik Ten Haag. I fought his battles when in the first season when people said, no, he's not the right one. And I said, no, he is. He is. But in the second season, come September, I gave up on him. I said, you know what? He ain't the one. The football's horrible. I'm not seeing identity. We've still been playing poor since after we won the Carabao Cup. And it dragged. It just got worse. Yes, they can say injuries, and injuries have a part to play. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
The defense as well. The fact that you never had a consistent defense of the same starting 11 all the time, with Andre Onana coming in, and Andre Onana as well making his mistakes in goal, costing us. I would say
the Champions League. That was cost the Champions League. Yeah.
It cost us the Champions League, that position to qualify. He was out because of it. And then towards the end of the season, we was just in a bad position. We were 6th, 7th, 8th, minus goal difference. And look at it right now. And then winning the FA Cup. Yes, it was emotional, sentimental, but my mind was here saying that
it's not.
We need to get rid. And I'll be very honest with you. I was like, we need to get rid of Erik Ten Haag. If they keep him, that's on them. What can I say? you know what, I'll just have to support him going into the third season, because at the end of the day, you all of Manchester United fans, we have hope. We hope he can turn it around. We want him to be the guy that makes the change and become the most successful manager since Alex Ferguson retired. We always hope for a manager, but when it's in your face and you can see that this is not working out, you have to hold your hands up and say, you know what, it's not working out.
It's not working.
And especially in that third season, the first month, we knew this was not going to work. And we were just waiting on how long. And Manchester United kept keeping him. And it got to the position where he got sacked. And he got sacked. And rightly so, he deserved to get sacked because it just wasn't good
enough at the time. It wasn't. And to me, in terms of Ten Hag situation, I think up to today, I believe is one of the best manager we had pro Sir Ferguson.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing I think I don't really agree with him, because I always say this, he lacked this player-manager relationship. He lacks kind of human management. Yes, you're the boss. We know you're the boss. You don't need to tell us you're the boss. You understand? Just like Mourinho will have an issue with you, but during the match day, he keeps it aside and let's get the game. Let's get a winning first. Let's come back. We go back to our personal issues. But you don't take the personal issue you have to the game. And having a whole lot of mixed feelings in the team were not united and they were not playing for him. A whole lot of this is just something that could just stop all this. Because okay, look at what happened with Ruben stepping in at the moment. Same team. Nothing changed. Same team. So you've lost the confidence of your team. I remember during the second season they were saying that you have lost the locker room and they keep giving statement, no, nothing like that is happening. But it's obvious that he lost the locker room. He lost that, and when he lost that, if the players are not playing for you, are not willing to die for the shirt because of you, there's nothing you can do about it. And one factor which I'm really applaud Ruud for spotting is, why is he always compensating mediocre? Why are you always encouraging players that are not doing very, very well? For example, Anthony was in his worst form. Yes, I get that. It's 100 million. He needs to play your big game, but he's not working game in, game out. That aside, Rashford was on his bad game. Game in, game out, giving him playing time. Game in, game out on his bad form, even when it was too obvious. Game in, game out. And one of the things I say sometimes he lacks the judgment. When you pick form and you respect him to start you or play you, he benches you.
Yes. Ahmad has been one of those victims this season. You know,
yes.
Player of the month bench. Best player in pre-season, no. Starts him in the first couple of games until his favourite players come back, and then bench him. And that was a problem.
Speaking of Ahmad, honestly, I know he's not really starting, but I was one of the people who don't believe that Ahmad should be starting at first, because I think he lacks the physique. I think he was going to be bullied every single time. That's how I think. He's going to be bullied every single time. And I believe he should be coming in second half. I normally feel that way. Two players I feel that way for was Chicharito at first. I felt the same way for Garnacho. I'm simply the same way for Garnacho, but he's always proving himself. And this is what Ahmad have actually done. He's trying to prove people wrong, like I myself, that I can do this. And last game, was it against he muscled the defender out. He bullied the defender to get a goal. That was when I said, fine, I need to shut up. Now, looking at the situation of Ahmad and Anthony starting, yes, it's a clear chance that Ahmad should be starting ahead of Anthony. But I strongly believe there is a kind of adaptation with Anthony in Premier League, of which I still strongly believe he still needs to be started ahead Ahmad. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Oche. We're in Anthony's third season.
Third season,
Manchester United, and the adaptation I would say, because you're right. Adaptation, every player that comes into the Premier League, it sometimes doesn't work for the first 3 months or the first 6 months or even the first season. But you expect them to fully adapt to the league in the second season. You know, you look at many players. It's been happened to so many players. You look at Vidic when he first came in. His first 6 months in Evra, it was horrendous. It was horrible until they adapted to the league and understood the rhythm of the pace of the Premier League, and they understand that you can't have the ball for far too long. Otherwise you'd be put on your ass. You know, if you beat one man, you may not beat the second person here in the Premier League, because they'll probably come for you. And if you get lucky, the third person will probably be the one that breaks your leg. This is how it is in the Premier League. And you need to learn to adapt to that. With Anthony, it's his third season. I think last year, which I can give him the benefit of the doubt, the situation that he had in his personal life, which hampered him not being able to play for a couple of months, could have an effect, and could have definitely had an effect. He had an injury as well in the second season as well, which as well takes into effect. And look at now, you know, he's just come back from injury because he got injured before Ten Hag got sacked. There is a player there. It's whether he has the confidence to put that on the pitch in the Premier League and accept this challenge. But at the moment, I would say you have to play Ahmed. Ahmed is more creative. He's more consistent than what we see from Anthony.
So true.
Yeah, and he's giving us the results that we need, you know. And I'm not saying this because I'm Ivorian. I'll be very honest with you. Yeah. I was one to say that, you know what, we spent 40 million, close to 40 million on the 18-year-old that hardly played any football. It's been 3 years now, and he still has not become a first teamer. We need to get rid.
Yes, I agree with you, because going to Rangers, actually gave me a boost. That was when I saw that Ahmad is really ripe for Premier League. He's now ripe. Then coming back, he gave us what he wanted, but the depth was not really there, because you can have 100 million sit on the bench and you have you playing. It doesn't work anywhere. So we can actually understand why Anthony is always getting the playing time, because if the truth is, if Anthony is to sit on the bench, that means you obviously made a mistake in that business. And somebody needs to go in for it. Someone needs to pay for it, because you can't spend that amount of money and not get results. You remember with Torres, when they spent 50 million? Guess what happened? Torres was playing game in, game out, still blank. He blanked almost through the whole season. That's the worst I've actually seen, and would give me hope a little bit when it comes to Anthony, but he's still a winger. That's it. You can't spend so much amount of money on a player like that and you still don't play him. So on the issue of Anthony, I think right now is the time for him to either go for a loan or take a walk or try. Yes, because now with a new manager, this almost 3 years, getting to the third season, this time can actually say fine. He can actually go to the bench now. He's not right for the bench. And with him moving forward, do you think Anthony will be a good fit for Ruben?
You know, one thing about Anthony, he's got a very good work ethic. He defensively does well when it comes to defense. My friend called him a defensive winger. You know, because he can drop back, he can do the hard dirty job. I've seen Ten Hag play him at left back as well, where he was furious. So I can see Ivorian giving an opportunity to play him as one of those wing backs who are the more advanced wing backs.
Yeah. So true, so true.
To the more attacking wing back. I think he's got an opportunity at Manchester. I think a lot of players have the ability to fit into a system. You know what? I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's not just the player, it's the manager. If the manager can make it that you can fit into that system and you have the foundations of the footballing characteristics to play his system, then he can, because it's all about the manager. Can the manager make you be able to play in that system? Because that's his job, to get the best out of you. You know, we've seen a lot of managers who go into clubs and transform players, you know, improve their game. So I believe Anthony is good, can get in that system because he's hardworking. He's still technically good. He just lacks the confidence and the right guidance and mentoring and the right coaches to guide him in the Premier League. You know, even though it's been disappointing and people say, "Oh, get rid of him," there's a player there. There is a player there. We saw this Anthony in Ajax, and we saw the potential he has.
Definitely. That's why I normally say that it's not that he doesn't know how to play. That's the one that I need to make everybody know. Anthony is not that he's a bad player. He's not good. This, when it comes to United, he's not that missing piece we need. It's not that missing piece. And this is what brings me to Erik Ten Haag transfers. Everybody he has actually bought is not what we need, but rather what he wants, not what he needs. He wants. All the whole signing, you can agree with me, there is no place that he actually bought a depth that we are missing. Take for instance, the right back. We had 2 right back. Well, we had Wan-Bissaka, we have Dalot.
Yeah.
And our left back are all out. I expected Eric to buy a left back. And guess what? You sold a right back and bought a right back. So it's confusing. This also brings me to the signing of Mount.
Uche, bear in mind he bought a right back that can play left back, and then we don't have a spare right back.
Yeah, definitely yes. He bought a complaint. Then there's no spare right back. So this is what I'm saying. Why are you buying what we don't actually need? You already have 2 right back. I think you should be concentrated on having a left back. The whole season went without even Malaysia playing. Luke Shaw was still something, and you had one that actually left on loan, and you actually let him go from for Tottenham. I was expecting that this summer we are going to get a left back. That's just what you're going to concentrate on, but yet you didn't. Now another transfer business I don't understand is Mount. Up till now, believe you me, I don't know why Mount was bought in the first place. I keep trying to understand where is he going to play. Even till now, I'm still can't fathom where position. See where we need the Mount here. This is where we didn't that missing piece. So far we all have said. Which transfer do you think Erik Ten Haag got so far since he came in?
Bang on. I would say the one player that I feel like has done well, although they had an injury, would probably, I'll say Lisandro Martinez has been a player that I think we all like. That's come in and done a job. And apart from that, you're looking at, let's look at Weghorst that came in. I had to go back. That didn't work well. I'm looking at Malacia, who's been injured. Casemiro came in. He had a fantastic first season, and then in the second season, he's trying to pick that form up in this season. So I wouldn't say it was a hit. It was a hit at first, but it's no longer a hit. You've got Anthony, that we can all agree that it's not a hit. Onana as well was a question mark at the start, but he's coming to life. So we'll at the end of the season we'll give you that verdict of whether he's been a hit or not. But so far he's been doing well in this season. Who else did he sign? Xerxes.
Zexy. Oh no, please, come on.
Maybe it's too early. It's too early.
It's too early for him though. It's like that.
But it's not looking good right now. Højlund as well. Who I would say Højlund, in my opinion, who scored 17 goals in his first season. Who came from a season where he scored 9 goals for Manchester United, where he's in a system where nobody creates him chances. Nobody feeds him in. Bruno don't see him. He sees Rashford instead. Rashford don't see Højlund. Every weekend is, do I know you from somewhere? Have we met before? Because that's how they play their football. Every week. Højlund, I will say, I'll give a thumbs up. Although I have question marks when it comes to Højlund. There are areas that he needs to improve in, but he's still young. He will learn. So I will give him a thumbs up with Rasmus Højlund. Who else am I missing that he signed as well? De Ligt, of course. I respect De Ligt. He's a top defender, and I feel like he will do a very good job for us, especially with the new manager. Who else is in that defense? Johnny Evans. Let's just hats up to him. Manchester United Academy came last season and done a job. Played way more football than expected. That's a thumbs up. But again, this is not the players I want to be giving my thumbs up to. Because he's not a starting player. And then who else am I missing? He never signed a left winger because he loves Rashford so much.
And
midfield, Mount is a disaster. Like we wasted 60 million, Uche. For what reason? We could have just let him stay at Chelsea and stay injured and get him on a free transfer. And that's my issue with Erik Ten Haag. He had no plan. He had no idea. And sometimes it's like, did you just sign him for the sake of having a runner, someone that's got energy, that covers a lot of ground?
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about signing a player who's actually fit, who's available every game, and has the quality. Because you look at him now, if Mount is the player that's meant to compete with Bruno Fernandes, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Don't see him. But yeah, apart from that, I would say it's been all a fail. Apart from probably 20% of the signing has.
That just maybe for this season. For Mazarawa, I think he's a good one so far.
But Mazraoui is a very good one. I missed him out. I do apologize for that. Mazraoui for 13 million, great business. But I'm going to give that to Ineos. I'm not going to give it to Erik Ten Haag.
Yeah. Because I think they took that power from him this season, and that was a good thing because he had a poor judgment when it comes to transfers. Very poor judgment, and he's always overpricing players. Have you noticed that? Most of the players are overpriced.
Yes.
All the whole sign are all overpriced. Normal players can actually get very cheaper than what they are now, but it is what it is with Erik Ten Haag, and thank God we are off that track now. There is this situation I'm actually looking at. You were talking about with Jerome in your. I was watching your last stream with Jerome, and he says Garnacho needs to be coming up from the bench. That I don't agree with, honestly.
You can't tell me why.
Yeah. Now look at it this way. Apart from Garnacho, remember when we were playing Rashi every single match, we were on goal drought. Immediately we switched that a little bit with Garnacho. We still have something promising. Yes, he can be selfish with the ball, which actually put me into trouble with the fans, but he is actually the most lethal forward player we have in Manchester United right now, apart from Ahmad coming out with the ranks. If you look at it this way, tell me, if you look at your forward now, who is a threat?
You will say Alejandro Garnacho because it's not Rashford. Rashford ain't no threat.
It's not.
And Ahmed.
Yes, Ahmed is actually coming up rather because he's not getting a playing time. All right, he's not getting a playing time. He getting a playing time. He's always delivering, but I know it gets into his head. But I say this: have you seen any wonderful best player that is not selfish?
Lionel Messi.
Yes. That's the only. I think that's the only one that actually make the list, though. That's because for you to be up there, you need to be selfish. And you remember Ronaldo at first, at a younger age, he wasn't that clinical. He was wasting ball, He was actually wasting a lot of ball. Boom, wild. That is it. That's where the practice actually comes. Until you start practicing. If you don't try the post, how will you know you can score? Which is what brings me to your man, which is Rasmus. Rasmus is a fantastic player. He doesn't get the ball, he doesn't get any delivery, despite Bruno being one of the most player with the highest chances created. Yet Rasmus is lacking in that field, which brings me to one thing. Rasmus lack that. He finds it hard to lose his defenders. He doesn't get into position very well. He likes to go into position, especially when you're moving attack. You see him not going into position. Sometimes he's run out of the box when you should be going inside the box. You should be running out of the box. So you look at all these factors, and you only have Garnacho there to save our ass in all this situation. And you think I disagree with Jerome in this one. I hope you actually stand with me on this, please.
No. I would not. Everyone has their opinion, and I respect that. With Garnacho, I think Jerome is just that he feels like with Garnacho, he's because of the fact that he can be inconsistent in his decision making. At times can really cost us games. But he knows that between Garnacho and Rashford, Garnacho's the one that's doing a better job than Marcus Rashford. He knows that's the truth. And Garnacho's probably one of the most informed young players at the moment. If you look at the amount of chances he's created so far this season, it's just that the only problem he has is that Garnacho think he's made it when he hasn't made it, and you need to sometimes humble yourself. You're not Ronaldo yet, because the Ronaldo we saw at your age you're not at that level. You know, as frustrated as Ronaldo would have been, we knew how spectacular and special he was from the moment he made his debut. We knew what he was capable of. You know, at times he over dribbled, crossed at the wrong time, but that was a learning curve that didn't last that long. You know, as soon as he became of that age 20, 21, everything came together. Boom, became a world star. Became a superstar. He became that player that we depended on him to score 30 goals, 40 goals a season. So I say Garnacho can get there, but I'm looking forward to how Ruben will manage him, how he will develop him, because Ten Hag's got him to that platform. He's got him there, trained him, showed him the few ropes. But I feel like Ruben Amorim can be the guy that can get the absolute best out of Alejandro Garnacho. As long as Garnacho realizes that he has a lot to work to do, because we saw recently he didn't want to celebrate, and that I did not like. I did not like. That just tells me that you think you've made it when you haven't, you know. And with footballers these days, it's always you need to baby them, especially the young generation. Where I'm from a lineage of disciplinarian, you know, your father and your mother insulting you, calling you X, Y, and Z. We don't cry, you know. We're like, we don't cry. We just keep it going and keep ourselves strong. But he needs to understand that he has not made it. He needs to understand that criticism is part of football. And take it in, and that's the only way he can make it better. Look at Ronaldo. How do you think Ronaldo got to where he got mentally? He's the most mentally strong person I've ever seen.
Honestly, spot on.
Every criticism he took it in. If you speak to Ronaldo, he will tell you how Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs, how hard they was on him in training. They called him soft. They called him every single word, you know, just to pull him down. But they did it to mentally make him stronger, physically strong and mentally strong, to be able to handle this criticism and take it in and improve. And that's what Garnacho needs to know, you know.
I remember one of the interviews from Rio Ferdinand. He was saying that should be against FC Porto in Champions League, and
he lost his father.
He passed the ball to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo was about to take the shot. He was shouting to Ronaldo, no! And guess what? Ronaldo delivered a banger. And this is to show you, like, what you're saying, that your teammates are always on you. They're hard on you every single time. And I don't see him complaining. I don't see him talking back at anyone, both gigs, all of them. All you see, he bows his head down and he goes back. We've all known this for a long time, but I know these are different times, different situation, different ways. Players are more like, I would say these days, the players are bigger than the coaches. Yes, because if you check the trend, the players are bigger than the coaches, because the clubs have given more power to the players than the coach.
Sadly.
Yes, sadly, and especially when you're actually paying most players higher than the coaches. I remember doing some focus, nobody was actually any more than him. So when you have this kind of situation, it controls the locker room as well, and they have the fans by their side. But that's for another day. Now, looking at what Ruben actually inherited, it's too bad that Ruud have to leave after giving a fantastic 10 points in 4 games. And believe you me, I approve of that. Yes, because I wouldn't be a coach that would look over my shoulder if he's in there. Because even if it's any small thing that happens, we're looking at, even the board knows there's a backup, and that's not good for you. You don't need to have a backup in there. He needs to actually work out. Right, I expect to do the same, just like the way Carrick said no, since Ole is out, after this I'm actually working out, because we are all part of the team that failed. It's not just only Ole failed, we are part of the team that failed. And with the performance he delivered, Ruud, giving us all this, giving him what we call a soft landing for Ruben to take over. And yes, he wants to stay, but we have to let him go because he's coming with his own assistant. Looking at the picture now, do you think that Ruben will be able to adapt with the current team that we have, or is it going to be are we going to see a twist? Are we going to see someone from the academy? Are they going to see a very new kind of new players on the starting lineup?
In my opinion, I feel like with Ruben, he has to work with what he has, which is true, and players have to adapt. But if there are opportunities for him to bring in a youngster who has the capabilities to play in his system, who he thinks they're ready, or who he thinks he can develop to get there within the next 3 to 4 months, I said before, we have players that can play his system, or can play near towards his system, or he can get something out of them. And players in the academy as well, whether they're ready, Ruben will have to find out. We have to find out.
Yeah.
He has to find a way, in my opinion, As I said before, great managers get the best out of peanuts, Great managers can turn water into wine. That's their job, That's what the best managers do. If you're able to get the best of what you've got, that's when I know that you're a good manager. That you don't just always need to require the best players in order to show your qualities. You shouldn't require the best players to show your qualities, because that means we have to wait until you get 11 new starting 11 and 11 new players for us to see what you're truly about. We should be able to see it with the people that you got right now, even if they're good or not good. But we've seen it so many times, Uche. Give you example, Aston Villa, Unai Emery. Aston Villa team that was facing relegation under Steven Gerrard.
Man.
Came in there, changed the system, changed players' mentality, how they think, training sessions, taught them tactically how they're supposed to be. Now look at Aston Villa right now. Look at the team that they are. They are in the Champions League. How many players have they signed to make the changes to that starting 11? Not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot at all.
Not a lot. But he's making players. Look like world-class players. Look at Ollie Watkins, Of course, Ollie Watkins was a good player when he came into Aston Villa. He had a little spell when he wasn't scoring with Steven Gerrard, and you just look at what he's learnt from Unai Emery.
So even Emery is a typical example of how you can transform an average team to an elite team.
Yes.
And looking at your squad now, can you actually predict what you think the first lineup might be?
If Lenny Euro can come back, I think I can predict that it should be.
I don't think he's going to play. No.
I don't think he's going to play, but
let's
just talk hypothetically that he's back, he's fit.
Okay.
You're looking at starting 11 of Onana in goal, and of course he's going to implement this 3-4-3 because that's what he knows. And you've got Lenny Euro playing right centre backs. Central centre back will be De Ligt. And you've got Lisandro Martinez playing left centre back. Wing back position will be interesting because Lucho's training. He's back into training. Who will play the right side? I would like to see Mazraoui, who has been consistent.
Definitely.
Who will play that position extremely well. And in those two, it's the two pivots. Who are you going for? Are you going for Casemiro or Ugarte, or are you going for Kobbie Mainoo or Ugarte, or Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro? I think I will go with Kobbie Mainoo and Ugarte in that midfield, because I feel like Ugarte's got the energy in terms of being a defensive-sided midfielder to win all those balls back, and you have Kobbie Mainoo who can drop deep and also support the defensive phases of the play, and also majority of the time support the midfield and the offensive side of the play, because I like how Amran works with his central defenders and also his wing back. He always has one wing back who is more defensively focused, and the other fullback wing back one attacking focus. So if you're looking at the left wing back, are we seeing a Marcus Rashford? Are we seeing a Anthony? Are we seeing a Luke Shaw? Are we seeing a Malacia? That's where the question mark is I can't tell you that I have a guaranteed person who will start there, but in that 2-10 positions, you definitely will see Bruno Fernandes. The second position is questionable, but I would like to see Ahmed playing that. But he might go with Rashford. Rasmus Højlund should be the one who plays up front.
Rashford. Rashford doesn't return so much.
I know he doesn't. But you have to find a way to pay your highest paid player in the pitch, innit? You know, I'm hearing rumors about him playing up front, but we all know Rashford is not striker. Him in front, he's back towards the goal. Does a header. You know, decision making. You know, one-on-one chances where he has so many time to think about it. No, you know Rashford. And he'll be great playing up front in terms of the attributes of him being quick. You know, just like Gyökeres. But I think Rasmus Højlund is quite similar to Gyökeres with that, trying to find spaces to run into the ball with Rasmus Højlund's pace. I think that could work. We'll see it. We'll see. We will see.
So to you now, for what you said now, do you prefer Rasmus or Rashford of top 9?
Rasmus Højlund. I've seen enough of Rashford. I'm done with it. I like
what you said. You've seen enough of it.
Yeah, I've seen Rashford up front. People say, "Oh, the season he scored 30 goals." Remember, majority of the time he was playing on the left wing. And remember when we saw Rashford up front, the decision making he makes, he's unable to have the physical battle he lacks. You know, Rashford against Virgil van Dijk and Konate will lose. Against Ruben Diaz and Akanji, he's losing.
Doesn't stand a chance.
William Saliba and Gabriel Jesus, he's losing these battles. He's not good in the air. In terms of link-up play, he's not the best of build-up play. So the only thing he's got on him that can outdo players in the defense is the pace. But at the same time, we're not seeing that pace anymore.
Ooh, I thought I'm the only one that's seen that. He doesn't run anymore. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't run. 350k doesn't want to run anymore. I don't know if it's the injury to the back that he had, and he's had these operations. I don't know if whether that's stifled him and made him slightly slower, but again, he doesn't run anymore. I'd rather have a striker that's natural.
If you ask me, it made us look back, because this is the first time in a very long time that no Manchester United were called up for the national team.
Yes.
No one. That is bizarre.
For England,
no one. No one. For a very, very long time, no one. So this begs the question, what is going on? Because now everybody's flat-footed, if you ask me, and it's still time. And one good thing about the new manager is everybody's a star. Once there's a new manager, everybody picks up. And I'm really, really worried, because the first season, everybody might be on top of their game. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next season will look like. That is when I will really know what Ruben is made up of. Because right now, everybody's all trying to hook up on your face, trying to form their serious players, trying to be all serious all of a sudden. So with time will tell by next season, they will know exactly what is going on. So this is what we actually have right now for Manchester United. And before we dive in and call it a day, we have something already going online that's trending so many places, which is about Rodri saying that Cristiano Ronaldo has no talent. So this is something since yesterday I'm trying to phantom it. I even tried slipping around and saying, what I just understand, how do you qualify talent? I keep looking at it. I keep thinking, I don't understand. So please make it make sense to me that someone who has no highlight for being the best player or the Ballon d'Or has no highlight to show that this is the reason why you won it. He's not accusing someone of having no talent at all, and you only need to secure him inside the box. What a statement. What do you say about that?
You would think Rodri played for Barcelona as a youth academy player, the way he speaks. You asked me, Ivorian Spice, is it Ronaldo or Messi? I'm a Messi fan, but what he said was ridiculous, you know. Ronaldo, no talent. This is the same Ronaldo that we saw at the age of 18 that thought this guy can be something really special. And hard work with his talent, he persevered with it. You know, Rodri saying that, he had to work on himself. Every player had to work on himself. Messi had to work on himself, even though he was given God-gifted talents and natural talents. He still had to work on it. It's a bit crazy, and I understand those Ronaldo fans are angry. They want to throw rotten tomatoes at Rodri. How dare you talk about my GOAT like that? You know, the disrespect towards my GOAT. Like, Ronaldo has talent. Look at the goals. It speaks for himself. Ronaldo, I think he saw the Ronaldo at Real Madrid and never saw the Ronaldo that came to Manchester United who had the skillfulness, the technical ability, the step overs, the tricks, the Rabona skills that he used to do, the entertaining Ronaldo that we enjoyed, where he became a goal machine Ronaldo at Real Madrid, where he got rid of the rest of the things that he don't need and just
focus on the game. And I think
but he's still wrong. He's wrong.
There's something I normally say. Ronaldo is a prototype of anyone who wants to be a footballer. Should say this is step by step on how to be a successful professional footballer. Ronaldo is a specimen.
Yes, he's an example. He's what footballers should be studying as well.
Exactly.
How to get to that level. Step by step guide.
He has actually transformed from what we saw in the Ronaldo we saw in Manchester United is a different Ronaldo we saw in Madrid. He's actually evolved over time, knowing that showboating that aside. Now let's talk about let's mean business, because he understood that in football only one thing matters. What is that? Goals. So why would I waste my time on things that don't matter? And it marvels me that we're judging someone for focusing on the main goal of football as not being a good footballer. So I now ask, if it's not about the goals, what is football? There's no football without goals.
Yeah, there's no football without goals.
That doesn't.
You wouldn't watch a game if there's no goals.
No one will. And I don't know, I keep saying it, maybe because of the way Ronaldo influences social media and everything. He keep getting so much critics that sometimes I wonder, wow, is this I don't know whether they're watching the same Ronaldo I'm saying, or is it someone else. We had the same situation from the same statement from Hazard. We also had another statement, was it for Aguero, that say he doesn't know how to play free kick. So sometimes
the Aguero I can understand, Argentinian friend like Messi, he's backing his bro.
No. Even though you're backing someone, there's some things you don't say. Everybody knows that Messi and Ronaldo are phenomenal. They are outstanding players. But you can't come and say that Messi or Ronaldo doesn't know how to play free kicks. And they just shoot the ball. How is that Ronaldo shoot the ball anyhow? You know what it means? Without any precision. That's the height of it. It's like everybody is trying to take a jab at him any way they can. Everybody's trying to take a jab at him. And it's not really good, because right now, like you said, he's one of the guys that's having one of the highest mentality in the football game. No matter the kind of critics he actually gets, he's the only player that I've seen that get critics from his own team, his own coach, his own national team, and also his own press. Do you know what it means when the media is against you? No one can even. The only person that is actually close to that, which I give him all cap, is Maguire. He's actually kept his head up. Although I know he brought that pressure on top of himself. I will say it that way. He brought the pressure on top of himself. And why will I say that? He brought that pressure on top of himself when Ronaldo came into the team and you refused to relinquish the captain band. You divided the team automatically. Because two captains can't be in a ship. It doesn't happen anywhere. How can you hold a captain band with someone who has more caps than you, more glories than you, more trophies than you, even in the team that you are on? Then what are you captain? What are you going to teach him? What are you going to tell him? And before the game, who motivates the team? Ronaldo. He's not even the captain. And you've really divided the team. So this is where you pressure. And when you lose a game, who do you blame? The captain will take some of it. But guess what? Ronaldo is taking it. And is quite disgraceful that when Ronaldo is scoring, you are the one making the mistakes and conceding.
Yeah.
And you're losing the morale every single day. And you keep playing every single day. So I say he brought on top of himself, because you brought so much pressure and it was too much for him. But kudos to him, because he shielded it all through and went past it. He's one of the person that actually I give him a whole of 100, because it is not easy. I know what it is online. Criticism is crazy. You know how it is when you get some comments, man. So imagine everybody, your own team that should have your back, is criticizing you. opponent is criticizing you, team is a whole different level. All right, so I want to say a very big thank you to you for having us here, because I would say I was really skeptical about having Ivorian Spice on my show. He's one of the streamers I'm actually say. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I was he's actually agreed to come. It was really a pleasure. I'm really happy. I don't know how to express that, but I really appreciate you coming down here.
Thank you.
And
it was a blessing.
To end this, we're going to end it with a game. And this game is kind of funny. I would say is a general game. I would say a club, and the last letter of the club, you name another club that starts from there.
We'll say that again.
I say any club, you name from the last letter, you name another club that starts with the letter. Any club, but it have to be a football club.
Okay. Ooh. I hope this will work.
Till who runs out, to see who runs out. Okay? All right. So you ready? Let's start. Okay. Obviously, I'll give you the honors. So you start.
Let's start with Arsenal.
Leeds. S at the end. Yes.
Sampdoria.
That's A, right? Aberdeen.
A. Okay. Oh, Aston Villa. FC Nordsjælland. Nordsjælland is the actual name that they play in the Europa League.
Nordsjælland. It ended with D. Okay. Derby County.
What does it end with?
Y.
Yokohama FC.
What? I get this.
Hey, what's the cocaine?
What? This is one of my end. This is my end game. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna use Yokohama FC. So I'm gonna use the last FC. Okay.
Yeah.
I know the last time we're using FC. So C is Chelsea. That's A.
We do a football club, yeah? Chelsea with an A, yeah? Another A. Jesus. Atletico Madrid.
All right. Okay. That's D. All right. Dortmund.
Another D at the end. Oh, this is interesting now. Oh. Did you say Dundee United by any chance?
No. Okay. You said Dundee now. Okay. Dundee now. Okay. Everton.
And at the end. Oh, this is getting difficult. Nottingham Forest.
Tottenham.
With M at the end. Manchester United.
Oh, right. Okay. We have
That's a D at the end now, yeah.
That's a D. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to blank out on D now. Yeah. I have 5 seconds left. Just you count down my 5 seconds.
1, 2. I'm taking it slow. 3, 4.
Doncaster United.
Doncaster, you got it. Oh, Doncaster, another United, another D. Okay, let me think.
Oh, not D.
Another D. DC United in the MLS.
Another D. Whoa! This
is getting on.
Oh, okay. Just start my countdown now. Why are you laughing? Come, you distracted me now.
3, 4, and it's a 5.
Oh, goddamn! Why did I lose this? Shit! All right, there's always a first time. All right, there's always a first time. There's always a first time. I want to say a very big thank you to you. Honestly, Ivorian Spicy. This is wonderful to have you here. So, is there anything you have to say for us before we wrap it up for today?
Make sure you guys, of course, support your boy Uche as well for what he's doing as well, man. Big up to everyone as well that's watching right now. And thank you, Uche, for having me. And I'm looking forward to the next episode if you have me later on. I especially want you to get me back when Ruben has had 6 or 7 months to get my opinion again.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, make sure you follow, subscribe to the channel as well on YouTube, and follow both of us on all social media platforms.
And then you see right there on the screen, you see Red United TV, and you see right there on the screen, you keep it for the button, subscribe, and always remember he's streaming, so it's going to be fun. All right, so you signing out. This is Blaqsport Podcast. We'll be seen every week, and don't forget to touch that dial every single time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right,
Peace.
bye.
Thank you, Che.